Are at stage 3, paragraph page 191. Last headword was
Yes.
war, new word type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First question. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the picture. What's this? What's this? It's a circle.
It's a circle.
Very good. Is the face of my watch square? Is the face of my watch square? No. The face
No,
of your
the
watch
face
isn't
of your
square.
watch isn't
It's
square.
round.
It's round.
Very good. How many pictures are there round these walls? How many pictures are there round these walls? There are two pictures
There are two
round those
pictures
walls.
round those walls.
Very good. Does she walk round the classroom during the lesson? Does she walk round the classroom during the lesson? No, she doesn't
No,
walk
she
round the
doesn't walk
classroom
around the
during the
classroom
lesson.
during the
She
lesson.
sits on her
She
chair.
sits on her chair.
Very good. And what am I doing? What am I doing? You're shaking
You are
your pen.
shaking your pen.
Do you always shake hands with your friends every time you see them? Do you always shake hands with your friends every time you see them? No, I don't
No, I
always
don't
shake
always
hands with
shake
my
hands
friends
with my
every
friends
time I see
when
them.
every time I see them.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're nodding
You are
your head.
nodding your head.
Very good. Do we nod our heads when we say no? Do we nod our heads when we say no? No, we don't
No,
nod
we
our
don't
heads
nod our
when we
heads
say no.
when we say
We
no.
shake our
We
heads
shake our
when
head
we say no.
when we say no.
Very good. Okay. What do we call this direct method we are using for learning English? What do we call this direct method we are using for learning English? We call this
We
direct
call
method.
this direct method.
One more. This direct method
This direct
we
method
are using for
we are
learning
using
English,
for learning
the
English.
Callan method.
The Karam method.
Very good. By this method, do students translate before speaking? By this method, do students translate before speaking? No. By this
No,
method,
by this method,
students don't translate
students don't
before
translate
speaking.
before
They
speaking.
think and
They
speak
think and speak
directly in the new
directly in the
language.
new languages.
Very good. Is it more or less time to go to bed? Is it more or less time to go to bed? Yes or no?
Uh, no,
It it isn't
it
more or less
isn't more
time
less time
to go to bed.
to go to bed.
Yeah, because we just woke up. Okay.
Mhm.
Are the countries of Europe more or less friends today? Are the countries of Europe more or less friends today? Yes or no?
No,
The countries of
the
Europe
countries of
are
Europe
not more or
are
less
not
friends
more
today.
or less friends today.
Very good. What kind of accent do you speak English with? What kind of accent do you speak English with? Tubig, I speak
I
English
speak
with a
English
Japanese
with
accent.
a Japanese accent.
Very good. Where's the accent in the word excellent? Where's the accent in the word excellent? The accent
The
in the word
accent,
excellent
the word
is on
excellent,
the first
is
syllable.
on the first syllable.
Very good. Do children depend on their parents for money? Do children depend on their parents for money? Yes.
Yes,
Children depend
the
on
children
their
depend on
parents
the parents
for money.
for money.
For money. Very good.
Oh,
Okay, next. Listen. Some people eat in expensive restaurants. Others eat in cheap restaurants. What does this depend on? Some people eat in expensive restaurants. Others eat in cheap restaurants. What does this depend on? It depends
it
on how
depends
much
on
money
how much
they
money
have.
they have.
Very good. Okay, next. During the day, it's light, whilst during the night, it's dark. What does this depend on? During the day, it's light.
During the days,
It's light,
it's right,
whilst during
whereas during
the night,
ni- the night,
it's dark.
it's dark.
What does this depend
And
on?
what does this depend on?
So that's the question. Let's answer. It depends
It
on the
depends
sun
on the
and where
sun
it
and
is in
where
the
it
sky.
is in the sky.
Very good. Are there any clouds in the sky today? Are there any clouds in the sky today? Yes or no?
Yes,
There are
I,
some
there are
clouds
some
in the sky
clouds in
today.
the sky today.
What are clouds made of? What are clouds made of? Clouds
The
are made of
clouds are
water.
made of water.
Very good. Do you always remember everything you learn? Do you always remember everything you learn? No, I don't
No, I
always
don't
remember
always remember
everything I learn.
everything I learn.
Some things I
Some
remember,
things I remember,
and some things
and
I
some
forget.
things I forget.
Do you remember when to use capital letters in English? Do you remember when to use capital letters in English? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I remember
remember when to use
when to
capital
use
letters in
capital
English.
letters in English.
Tell me, tell me please. We use capital
We
letters
use
at
capital
the
letters
beginning of
at
a
the beginning
sentence
of the
for the
sentence
pronoun
for
I
the pronoun
and
I
for the first
and
letter
for the first
of
letter
people's
of
names,
people's
place
names,
names,
place
days of
names,
the week,
days of week,
months of the year,
months of the year,
months of the year,
months of the year,
nationalities, and
nationalities,
languages.
and languages.
Very good. Do you remember the name of this thing? Do you remember the name of this thing? Yes, I
Yes,
remember the
I
name
remember the
of that
names
thing.
of that thing.
It's a pen.
It's a pen.
Very good. Do you ever forget to answer emails? Do you ever forget to answer emails? Yes, I
Yes,
sometimes
I
forget
sometimes
to
forget
answer emails.
to answer
Do
emails.
you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Do you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Yes, I
Yes,
sometimes
I
forget
sometimes
the
forget
names or
the names
faces of
of
or
faces
faces of people I know.
of people I know.
Very good. Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? Yes or no?
Yes, uh, yes,
We're nearly
we are
at
nearly
the end of the
at
lesson.
the end of the lesson.
Are we nearly in autumn? Are we nearly in autumn? Yes or no?
And no, no,
We aren't nearly in
we aren't
autumn.
nearly in the autumn.
Right? Is it nearly time to go to bed? Is it nearly time to go to bed? Yes or no?
No,
It it
I
isn't
nearly,
it
it
isn't
isn't
nearly time
nearly
to
time
go to bed.
to go to bed.
Very good. Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not nearly
I'm not nearly
always the last
always
person
the last
to
person
get up in my
to get
family.
up in my family.
My
My brother is
is nearly always
nearly
the last
always
person to
the
get
last
up
person
in
to
my
get up
family.
in my family.
To get up in my family. Very good.
To get up.
Okay, next. What's the negative of I was? What's the negative of I was? The negative of
The
I
negative
was
of
is
I
I
was
wasn't.
is I wasn't.
What's the negative of you were? What's the negative of you were? The negative
The
of you
negative
were
of you
is you
were
weren't.
is you weren't.
Where good was I at this school 50 years ago? Was I at this school 50 years ago? No, you
No,
weren't
you
at this
weren't
school
at this
50 years
school
ago.
50 years ago.
Were you here 100 years ago? Were you here 100 years ago? No, I
No,
wasn't
I
here
wasn't
a hundred
here
years
a
ago.
hundred years ago.
Where was she in a different classroom last lesson? Was she in a different classroom last lesson? No, she
No,
wasn't in
she
a
wasn't
different
in a
classroom
different
last
classroom
lesson.
as recent.
Were we in this world 90 years ago? Were we in this world 90 years ago? No, we
No,
weren't in
we
this world
weren't in this
90
world
years
in
ago.
90 years ago.
Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? No, they
No,
weren't
they
outside the
weren't
classroom
outside the classroom
during the last lesson.
during the last lesson.
They were inside.
They were inside.
Very good. Are there any fields near where you live? Are there any fields near where you live? Yes or no?
No,
There aren't
that there aren't
any fields
any
near
fields
where I live.
near where I live.
Very good. Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Yes or no?
And no,
The
there aren't
number of people
the number of
in
people
my
aren't
town
in
isn't
my
always
town
increasing.
isn't always increasing.
Very good. Are there a lot of battles in a war? Are there a lot of battles in a war? Yes, there
Yes,
are a
there
lot of
are a
battles
lot of
in a
battles
war.
in the war.
Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Yes, there were
Yes,
a
there
lot
were
of
a
battles
lot of
in
battles
Europe
in Europe
during the Second World
during the
War.
Second World War.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Very good. Very fast. Oh, you're faster in the morning. Very good. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's practice. Okay, let's have new words. Here we go. Repeat
Okay,
over.
over,
Contact.
contact,
Object.
object.
Very good. Okay, listen. We say over. when there is no contact between the two things or two objects. For example, we can say, my right hand is over the pen because there's no contact over the pen. And we can say, my left hand is over the book because it's not touching the book. Okay, let's, okay. When there is contact, when we touch it, okay, so between the two objects, we say over when the object covers the other completely, and on when it does not cover it completely. Okay, so as it says, if there's contact, we say over if my hand covers the pen entirely. So my hand is over the pen because you can't see the pen anymore. But we say on when you can still see the book. So my hand is on the book because it's not covering the book. You can still see the book. Okay, for example, my right hand is over the pen and my left hand is on the book. Okay, let's practice. Where's my left hand? Where's my left hand? Your left hand's
Your left
over the
hands
book.
over the book.
Very good. Where's my right hand? Where's my right hand? Your right hand's
Your left hands
your right
over the pen.
your right hand's
Your right hands
over the pen.
over the pen.
Very good. Where's my left hand now? Where's my left hand now? Your left hand's
Your left
on the book
hands
now.
on the book. On the book now.
Very good. Where's my right hand now? Where's my right hand now? Your right hand's
Your right
over the
hands
pen now.
over the pen now.
Why do we say my left hand is on the book but my right hand is over the pen? Why do we say my left hand is on the book but my right hand is over the pen? We say your
We
left
say
hand
your
is
left
on the
hand
book
is on the
but
book,
your right hand
but your right
is
hand
over the pen
is over the pen
because your left hand
because your left
is not
hand
covering
is not
the book
covering the
completely,
book
whereas
completely,
your right
whereas
hand
your
is
right hand
covering the
is
pen
covering the pen
completely.
completely.
Very good. What's over our heads? What's over our heads? The ceilings
The
over
ceilings
our heads.
over our heads,
What's over your building? What's over your building? The skies
the
over
skies
my building.
over my building.
Very good. Where's my right hand? Where's my right hand? Your right hand's
Your right
over
hand
the pen.
over the pen.
Where's my left hand? Where's my left hand? Your left hand's
Your left
over
hand
your mouth.
over your mouth.
Very good. Next, repeat. Idea.
Idea.
Very good. Okay, listen. Idea, like that's a picture in your mind, a plan in your mind. For example, the meaning of the word idea is, I think it's a good idea to study a lot if you want to learn a language well. I don't think it's a bad idea to go to France if I want to learn French well. I think it's a good idea. Okay, so let's practice. Do you think it's bad idea to go to England if you want to learn English well? Do you think it's a bad idea to go to England if you want to learn English well? No, I don't
No,
think
I
it's
don't
a
think
bad
it's
idea
a bad
to go
idea
to England
to go to
if I
England
want to learn
if I want to learn
English well.
English well.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Very good. Do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Yes, I think
Yes, I
it's a
think
good
it's
idea
a good
to
idea
learn some
to
English
learn some
before
English
going to England.
before going to England.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Often,
Often,
rarely,
uh, but,
rarely,
really,
like rare, rarely.
rarely,
Very good. Theater.
theater.
Very good. Okay, listen. Often is an adjective. It means a lot of times, almost all the time. For example, it's often hot in the Philippines, so always hot. A lot of times hot in the Philippines. Rarely is also an adverb. It is the opposite of often. For example, I don't often go to the theater. I rarely go to the theater, like not all the time, rarely. It isn't very often cold in Africa. It's very rarely cold in Africa. Rare. Let's practice. Does it often snow in the warm countries of the world? Does it often snow in the warm countries of the world? No. It
No,
doesn't
it
often snow
doesn't often
in
snow.
the warm
In
countries
the
of the
world,
world.
warm countries of the world,
It rarely snows
it rarely
in the
snows.
warm
In the
countries of
warm
the world.
countries of the world,
Is it very often cold in Africa? Is it very often cold in Africa? No, it
no,
isn't
it
very
isn't
often cold
very often cold
in
in
Africa. It's
Africa.
very
It's
rarely cold, rarely
very
cold
cold,
in
rarely,
Africa.
rarely cold in Africa.
Very good. Do you often go to the theater? Do you often go to the theater? Yes or no?
Yes,
I often go to the
I
theater.
often go to the theater.
Does the sun often shine in the north of Europe in winter? Does the sun often shine in the north of Europe in winter? No, the sun
No,
doesn't
the
often
sun
shine
doesn't often shine
in the north of Europe
in the north of Europe
in winter.
in winter.
It rarely shines.
It rarely shines.
Very good. So that's your word for today. Rarely. Okay. Next, repeat. Understand.
Understand
Exactly.
exactly.
I am sorry.
I'm sorry.
Very good. Okay, listen. Understand is a verb. It means to get the meaning of something someone says. For example, I don't understand French. Exactly is an adverb which means completely. We say I'm sorry in politely asking someone to repeat something that they have said. For example, if the first time you don't understand or you didn't hear the teacher ask you, you may say this exactly to him. I'm sorry, I don't understand or I didn't hear the question. Will you repeat it, please? Okay, let's practice. Do you understand two people when they speak English very quickly? Do you understand two people when they speak very quickly in English? No, I don't
No, I
understand
don't
two people
understand two
when they
people
speak
when
very
they
quickly
speak very
in
quickly
English.
in English.
Do you understand everything I say during the lesson? Do you understand everything I say during the lesson? No, I don't
No, I
understand
don't
everything
understand
you say
everything you are
during the
saying
lesson,
during the lesson,
but I understand
but I understand
nearly everything you
nearly
say.
everything you say.
Very good. If the first time you don't understand a question the teacher asks you, what must you do? If the first time you don't understand a question the teacher asks you, what must you do? If the first time
The first
I don't
time
understand
I don't
a question
understand
the
a
teacher
question
asks
the
me,
teacher asked
I
me,
must ask him
I must ask
to
him
repeat it.
to
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 repeat it.
repeat it.
Very good. What exactly do you say to him? What exactly do you say to him? I say, I'm
I
sorry.
say, I'm
I don't
sorry.
understand
I
the
don't
question.
understand the
Will
question.
you
Will
repeat it,
you
please?
repeat it, please?
Very good. Next, repeat. Stop.
Stop.
Very good. Okay, listen. Stop. The word stop is a verb. To stop is to not continue to do something. For example, I think it's difficult to stop smoking. Okay, let's practice. Do you think it's easy to stop smoking? Do you think it's easy to stop smoking? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
it's easy to
it's
stop
easy
smoking.
to stop smoking.
Very good. Next, repeat. Talk.
Top.
Voice.
Voice.
However.
However,
Very good. Okay, listen. The verb to talk means to speak. Okay, talk, to speak. We can speak to somebody about something, or we can talk to somebody about something. However, we must say, I speak English, and we cannot say, I talk English. The word however in that sentence means but. Voice is a noun. For example, there's somebody in the next room, and they are talking to one another. I can hear some voices in the next room. Okay, let's practice. What does the verb to talk mean? What does the verb to talk mean? The verb to
the
talk
verb
means
to talk
to
means
speak.
to speak.
Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
talk
talk
to my friends on my
my
mobile
friends on my
every day.
mobile every day.
Very good. What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? If I start
If I
talking to
start
the student
talking to the
next to
students
me,
next
During
to
the lesson,
me during the
the
lesson.
teacher
The
generally asks
teacher
me
generally asked
to
me
stop talking.
to stop talking.
Very good. Is it right to say I am talking English? Is it right to say I am talking English? No, it
No,
isn't right
it
to say
isn't right to
I
say
am
I
talking
am
English.
talking
It's
English.
wrong.
It's wrong.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say
We must
I'm
say
speaking
I'm
English instead.
speaking English instead.
Can you hear any voices in the next room? Can you hear any voices in the next room? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
can't
can't hear.
hear any voices
It's
in the next room.
it
One more.
it's weak.
No, I can't
No,
hear
I can't
any
hear
voices
any
in
voices
the next room.
in the next room.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to our reading.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, reading is at stage 2, paragraph page 119. Last headword was meal. Okay, start with the first question. Tell me the names of the three meal. Stage 2,
Okay.
119. 119.
190. Okay, I can see.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Meal, breakfast,
Very good.
lunch, dinner, a day, morning, evening. Tell me the names of the three meals that people generally eat a day. The names of the three meals that people generally eat a day are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What time do you have your breakfast? I have my breakfast at 7 p.m.
Hey,
What time do you have your lunch? I have, I have, lunch,
I have my
I have my lunch at
noon.
12 a.m.
12 noon.
and 12 noon.
Hmm.
What time does your dinner begin? My dinner begins at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
What time does your dinner end? My dinner ends at 9 p.m.
Hmm.
How long does her dinner last? Her dinner lasts 1 hour.
1 hour. Plate.
Plate,
Bowl.
bowl, knife, fork, spoon, chopsticks. What do we eat our food from? We we eat our food from a plate or bowl. What do we eat our food with? We eat our food with a knife, fork, and spoon, or with chopsticks. Many, more than, the most, few, fewer, fewer than, the fewest, much, more than, the most, little,
Less than.
less, less than, the least.
Hmm.
Uh,
Exception.
Next,
Exception.
exception,
Very good.
quantity,
Singular.
quant,
Quantity.
quantity, quantity, singular.
Very good.
What's the difference between many and much? The difference between many and much is that we use many with things we can count, and much with, with things we can't count. Give me a sentence with many in it, please. There are many. There are many cars in a large city.
Hmm.
Give me a sentence with much in it. I do not put much sugar in my tea.
Hmm.
What's the difference between few and little? Little. The difference between few and little is that we use few with things we can count and little with things we can't count. Give me a sentence with few in it, please. There are few tables in this school. Give me a sentence with little in it. I drink little milk. Okay,
Next. Many.
next.
Few. 121. Many.
100.
Few.
Okay, I will turn my textbook.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm
okay.
maybe
But
I my
okay. We stop there for today, but very good reading, very good dictation, and very good practice for today. Thank you very much.